government's efforts in complementing matters to do with various sectors, and you could talk about health in this particular respect. One of them is the W.J. Mudolo Foundation, which is a charitable organization working towards support to rural communities in as far as matters to do with health is concerned. This time around, the foundation, in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Energy, and the Rural Electrification Authority, have partnered to look at alternative energy solutions to rural parts of the country. I have three guests to delve into this in studio. I have Agnelli Kafue, who is a Senior Energy Officer from the Ministry of Energy. Good morning. It's Agnelli, good morning to you. Good morning. Right, and then we also have Maelesi Kamuna, who is a Field Program and Outreach Officer, W.J. Mudolo Foundation. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Right, and now joining us via Zoom from Israel, we're joined by the chairman, W.J. Mudolo Foundation, Dr. Kobi Ludwin. Good morning to you. Thanks for joining us, and how's everything where you are?
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Great.
Proud to be here.
Excellent.
Yeah, very good to be here.
Excellent. I think it's been about 3, 4, 5 months last time we spoke, and I think my interest is to find out how Mudolo Foundation is, and maybe you could break down, if you can, briefly, what it actually is all about.
Happily. I'm always happy to speak about the foundation and what we are all about. So I think if we want to dive into the foundation, what we represent, we need to understand when it started. It started back in 2020, and the idea was to contribute to solving burning issues within the communities in Zambia and across Africa in general. So we believe everyone deserves prosperity as individuals and as communities. The W.J. Mudolo Foundation invests heavily in people and in their future by organizing and investing in environmental projects, education projects, healthcare and well-being, like you stated just now. I think the project that we are launching tomorrow is a very good example. The solar kiosks, what it does, it lights up the hospital or clinic, and at the same time, it provides clean water. So this is what we stand for. The care for the environment alongside with changing the people's well-being, and this will ultimately lead to the prosperity of the entire region, the entire communities. So if you ask me what the W.J. Mudolo Foundation is about, it's about this. It's about well-being and improving lives.
Let's talk about the fact that you've joined hands with the government of Zambia, and you mentioned, you give a hint already what's going on. But the elephant in the room in this country at the moment has everything to do with energy, and there's load shedding. You seem to have decided to give support to rural health facilities. What does this mean in the long run?
That's a good question. Before I answer about the long run, me, myself, as you mentioned, I'm a doctor, I'm a caregiver. I believe in healthcare. I think everybody should get proper healthcare no matter where they are and who they are. So, and like we said before, the idea of this project is to provide green, affordable and sustainable solution to the increasing energy deficit in Zambia, which we know there were droughts, which lowered the capacity to generate sufficient electricity. So everybody deserves quality of care, and the condition of the healthcare in rural areas today can and should be improved for the sake of the good people of Zambia. So this is where the W.J. Mudolo Foundation steps in. The idea is to identify rural healthcare facilities which experience energy challenges along with all that it comes with it. Energy challenges can be difficulty in access to clean water and sanitation, difficulty with cold chain storage for medications and vaccines. It requires help by resource sharing and implementation of telemedicine solutions, which is very good for the rural areas, and provide them with one-stop shop. So it's a simple solution, which, as I said, is affordable, sustainable. It's a recyclable shipping container that is transferred into a solar energy kiosk, that can support cold chain storage, diagnostic equipment, and drinking water purification, or where it applies solar water pumping, where that would be applicable. So for the long run, to answer your question, this would improve the overall healthcare and well-being of these communities, leading to reduced mortality and reduced mobility. And of course, besides this, expansion of these healthcare facilities over time would lead not only to more jobs within the healthcare industries in those communities, but for better quality of care, as well as giving better tools to the caregivers.
Right.
So this would help them in becoming better practitioners.
Right.
This is for the long run.
You hinted on the launch. I think I wish to know what other details there are around what you mentioned, which is a launch.
Okay, so as I mentioned, as you mentioned actually, we are launching tomorrow, and this is in collaboration with the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Energy, and the Rural Electrification Authority. And the plan is for 100 such healthcare centers across Zambia. We will start by locating and selecting the sites where the solution would be implemented with the support of the government. Once we identify this and that identification of sites will be determined, we'll move on to training the local staff and then implementation and installation of this facility. And of course, we will monitor and measure progress at any given moment. Tracking and measuring the process and outcome is key for constant improvement, and that's what we aim for. We aim for constant improvement for the community, and this is what we're going to do with the launch.
Well, if you can, stay with us, because in studio I have senior energy officer from the Ministry of Energy to look at this, and of course you have your field program outreach officer from Mudolo, Milesi. I want to turn to you, sir, because you clearly mentioned in here, and there's this collaboration. What does it mean?
Well, this collaboration is actually very, very important, especially for the government side, Ministry of Energy. The reason why I'm saying so is because government cannot actually solve all the energy challenges all by itself. And that is the reason why we need all partners on board, from private sector, corporate partners, NGOs, and everybody as a country, because we are all part of the solution. So this partnership coming on board, especially with Mudolo, indicates the reason why it's very, very important for us to actually emphasize that decentralized energy generation is actually the future. Right now, everybody believes that the only power you can actually get is ZESCO, which is not the case, because there's some places which cannot access ZESCO. And Mudolo coming in on board right now actually is going to help us spread the actual energy across the country, especially in rural areas. When you look at the actual living conditions monitoring survey, which was recently published, it's only 5.5% of our people in the rural areas who actually have access to the grid. So this coming in as an off-grid system is actually a game changer for the rural areas, especially when it comes to health going forward.
Right. I'm told you'll be, installing solar systems to about 100?
Yes. For a start, we're actually going for 100. So for the Ministry of Energy, the crucial component is that we're going to be identifying the actual locations themselves. And we're not working in silos. We're actually working together with the Ministry of Health as partners, basically, as a team, together, of course, with our partners in Mudolo, where we'll identify which areas really actually need the actual care, specifically for the energy part, and the ones who are far away from the grid, basically. Yes.
Right. Maybe, Miles, you could help us now. Your chairman has given a good picture of what this is all about. We could look at the launch, which I'm told is at Pamosi Hotel. How ready are you for tomorrow's event?
We are very ready. So what you're going to be seeing tomorrow has been in the works for a few months, because we needed to raise funds for this project. It's a huge project. We're embarking on electrifying and installing water purification systems in 100 hospitals spread out across Zambia. So that's where the ministries come in, the partnership, which we appreciate the support the government is giving our foundation. Like he said, you can't do it alone. And especially for us as a foundation, yes, we can raise the funds, but if we do not have the data, we don't know where to push or help. So tomorrow's event embarks, it's the beginning of this partnership, and we hope it goes further because, like he said, the 100 healthcare facilities we're going to be providing for is just the beginning of this project. We're hoping to do more than that. So the database is a very helpful tool which we are using, which both the ministries have. Like he said, the Rural Electrification Authority know which places don't have electricity, which healthcare facilities. Even the Ministry of Health also knows which clinics don't have electricity or are struggling. So not only are we focusing on off-grid healthcare facilities, we're also going to be reaching out to clinics that are on the grid, but their power cuts are of very long periods. So we are hoping to try and help uplift these communities, these villages. So we are ready for tomorrow's event.
Right. And as a final thought, what's your vision? What is the vision of the foundation? I mean, this energy collaboration does sound very strategic,
yes.
But in terms of the foundation itself, what's the long-term vision in supporting livelihoods in these rural areas?
So like our chairman has said, we are trying to bring opportunity to every Zambian, every African, actually. And we do understand that to bring opportunity, a lot of things need to come into play. They need to work together. Someone needs to be healthy for them to actually seek out opportunity. Someone needs to have education. Someone needs to have support. So in our projects, for instance, we're doing education of the environment. Right, so we're doing education for the environment. We're educating students on the importance of trees. And then we are also hoping we've already started a project of planting 2 billion trees by 2030 across Africa.
How many?
2 billion trees.
2 billion?
Yes.
Right.
By 2030 across Africa. And this will bring opportunity because it's not just fruit trees, it's fruit and energy trees. So there's going to be empowerment of women and youth because we need people to take care of these trees that we are planting. So in the long run, our vision is to see people from the rural areas, one, having clean and healthy water, because we do understand that this is a necessity for life. It helps in prevention of outbreaks, which in the grand scheme of things helps the government by using those funds, which they would have used to mobilize and try and treat outbreaks, waterborne diseases. They're able to cipher those funds to other projects in the energy sector.
Right.
So we're hoping in the long run, our rural communities are well educated on the importance of trees, and they also have good opportunities for them to thrive as part of the society.
Excellent. What would you like to say in closing?
Well, in closing, what I'm actually just going to say is that as the Ministry of Energy, we're actually working together with all other ministries, including the Ministry of Health, of course. And we're very, very happy that Mudolo is coming on board to actually help us ensure that our people have actually energy. Because as the Ministry of Energy, our target by 2030 in our latest National Electrification Strategy is to have universal access to energy by 2030. This is only possible if the government is actually helped together with partners. Because as the government alone, it's just not practical for us to extend the grid across the country. The other thing I can actually just say is this. Decentralized energy generation is actually the future. Because we cannot be waiting for ZESCO all the way and everybody in the country just waiting for one company. So this is what we're doing as a government to ensure that everybody comes on board and we actually have solutions. And I'm very, very happy with ZNBC coming to partner with us at the moment because they are demonstrating to the people that there are actually solutions on the table which have not been publicized. And I implore all the media houses to follow your footsteps, basically.
Well, everybody's appreciated. This is for everybody. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
And
us.
very best of luck.
Thank you.
In growing this.
Thank
And of
you.
course, thanks to the chairman of WJ Mudolo Foundation who joined us from Israel, Dr. Kobe Ludwin, and in studio I had Agnelli Kafue, Senior Energy Officer from the Ministry of Energy, and flanked by Mailesi Kamuna, a Field Program and Outreach Officer from WJ Mudolo Foundation. We're taking a short break on the update.
Thank you.
You do well to be with us.